want to welcome you to my latest episode of Pens in Use. This is the Thanksgiving week edition. I am recording this. I should be recording it on Black Friday, but I'm not. I'm recording it the day before Thanksgiving, which is Wednesday. And the reason is I got two new toys. Now, you can't see them, but right now it is 8 o'clock in the evening, and it's dark outside. Normally, I use daylight to light this set. Well, instead, what you can't see behind the camera are two lights that I purchased for my photography that I do on the side. And I thought, I wonder if they'll work for pens. So I'm trying them out tonight. They each have a 500-watt fluorescent bulb in it, and they are really bright. Now, what I see is I'm a little flatter and maybe not as interesting as I might be in daylight, but the star of this show is not me, it's the pens. So let's look at the pens that are in use this week. Well, this week, we'll bring them into view here. I still have not fixed the monitor on the computer, so that's a little awkward. But the pens that are in use this week are spread out before you. Some of these you have seen before because I'm trying them out and reviews are coming down the road. So the Omas Ogiva that I mentioned a long time ago is still in use. Has gray ink in it. Honestly, that one would be empty by now, except I'm trying out so many pens. So I'm using my Omas Ogiva at the moment. Oops. And I was told I was holding it wrong. Although I'm writing under camera, in fairness. Extra Flessible Medium. And that's with the Omas gray ink. That Omas might be coming back in business under a new owner, which I hope so. I think they brought a lot of good things to the pen world, and it's a shame to see them go. I am still using, although it's almost empty, I filmed a review on this, although it's not up yet, my Pilot Custom 74. No, I'm sorry. Pilot Custom 743 with the Falcon nib. And that's with, I forgot to write those Omas gray up there. Whoops. AY, not EY. This one is the KWZ Quizzy. KWZ Grapefruit. Not an iron gall, but a very intense, bright color. I like it. All right, let's see who else is. Oh, the Pon 52. Let's just take a quick gander at this guy. You'll get a full review of this one. It's a button filler. I'll talk about that when I do the review, but what the heck? This is a Norwegian pen. I can't remember the nib that's on it. I'll look that up when I review it. I am enjoying this pen a great deal. Although I will say when you have a sack in a pen, they do take a bit more work to clean out. That's part of the reason I put Mont Blanc ink in it. I figured, hey, Mont Blanc is a more mainstream ink. All right, Pelican Twist. I have mentioned this before. I'll be honest, part of the reason this one is still in use and hasn't switched colors is I don't like the ink that's in it. It's just the regular standard Pelican blue. The pen itself it's a children's pen. I kind of have this vision that it'll probably stay at school for the most part, and I won't use it very often, but I'm not ready to say I'll get rid of it. Just because I have so many pens inked up, this pen has not emptied out. It usually would after a week or two. My Platinum 3776. Forgot the 7. And it's a medium nib. And the ink in it is Ottoman Azure. This pen has the honor of being the only pen I have reviewed twice. Very attractive, which is why I bought it. Had some disappointments at first, but then the more I used it, the more I said, oh, not bad. So I re-reviewed it. All right, now this one, I forgot this one was inked up. Remember a couple weeks ago, or was it last week? I mentioned that this pen, I uploaded the review and I said, oh, I wonder how it goes. And after a few months of sitting there, it was working just fine. Well, guess who else I reviewed the same day and took to school? This is my Pilot Petite. If I recall correctly, this is some kind of an Ackerman green ink. I don't remember which one. Now the Pilot Petite writes smoothly. Obviously it held its ink very well that whole time. It's just not one of my favorite pens. All right, moving on. Yes, I have a lot of pens inked up this week. Almost empty. Almost empty is my Pilot Custom 92. With a broad nib. Now, fun fact, this broad nib actually came from a 74 that I own, so I swapped nibs, and we're using Iroshizuku Yamabudo. And I think it's worth pointing out that it is later in the evening than I usually film these reviews. And one thing I am not is an evening person. Now, 8 o'clock is not too late for me, although I am getting a little tired. My handwriting goes downhill. Any of my pen pals can tell you that my writing in the morning and my writing in the evening, two totally different animals. So I like to write to pen pals in the morning. All right, this is my, by the way, I'm using Tomoe River paper here. I see it's not showing up on the computer screen, but maybe when it's made bigger it will. Definitely some sheen to this ink. All right, this one is my, doesn't start with a P, Faber-Castell. I think there's only one L, but I'm not sure. Ondoro. And that's a fine. And that's loaded up with a KWZ Iron Gall, whoops, Mandarin. I'll just lay it down there for a second. If you look at Chris Rapp's channel, Chris Rapp recently posted a video on a few of the Iron Gall inks made by KWZ, which is a Polish company, which is part of why I got an interest in it. The Iron Gall thing was another reason I got an interest. And yes, very interesting inks. The color change over time is interesting. I think I mentioned about the change in the KWZ last week. I should be filming this with my ink journal in hand, but I'm not. Filming with paper, so it is what it is. The paper, by the way, came from viewer and fellow YouTuber Larry Berrones, who is based in Fort Worth, Texas. He sent me a sample of Tomoe River paper for me to try out, and I have to say I do like it. Tomoe River paper does an excellent job with the ink. The ink, a lot of inks will sit on the surface. Now, it does mean if you have a slow drying ink, it's going to be really slow drying on this paper. I also like that it's very lightweight, very thin paper. So, paper worth considering. Anyway, now here's a pen I inked up when I got my KWZ ink. Not one of my favorites. This is from Chris Rapp. I think this was my Thanksgiving review. I filmed it back in August again. But this is a Jinhao of some kind. I think it's Jinhao 599A for aluminum, but I won't swear to it. And also inked with KWZ Iron Gall Mandarin. Because I had that particular shipment of ink was delivered to my work, and this was the only pen I had there, and that was empty, so I inked it up. It was one of those I put in my drawer as a possible giveaway. But now I'm planning to record a rodeo where I compare it to some other pens of similar looks of more German manufacture, which we'll talk about when I do that video. But it's worth noting that I let this pen sit for a couple of days. Now, I had a great time letting these two sit for a couple of days. Not so much this guy. This guy had big issues when I went to use him again. Involved lots of water to fix it. Of course, as always, my beloved Lamy 2000. which is way too many pens to have inked. I'm blaming the review thing. Always inked with Noodler's Black and always inked. I have one other inked with Noodler's Black. This pen is inked with Noodler's Black because I needed a pen I could put in my pocket, and I didn't have a good shirt pocket. Kind of like, actually I was wearing this shirt as a matter of fact. This is my Kaweco Sport, which I've had for a number of years, and for a long time considered getting rid of, but I'll tell you, this pen has been inked up a lot more since I got the mini converter for it. All right, my camera is about to overheat and shut down, so I'm going to leave you with thank you for watching. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope this is useful, just seeing what pens do I actually use over time. And keep in mind, sometimes I'm filming reviews, so you have to look at long-term trends, not just day-to-day. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next week when I talk about several, are they Jinhaos or are they Lamy type pens? So thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.